Hey everybody, welcome back to the CALLOUS Invitational play-ins for CALLOUS Invitational 3. It is the round of 8 in Group B, SamuelBest and Relous. It's game 2, and Relous managed to put up a decent fight, but it was SamuelBest who came out on top of game 1. So he's looking to close it out here. Relous looking to force a game 3. So let me just get that going, and we'll switch sides for continuity. It'll be Relous on the bottom against SamuelBest on the top. A Milo and a Scarm lead, respectively, quickly become Scarm on Scarm as Sam gets spikes down. Relous doing a Magneton check by going to Dougie. I liked that play. That was a more familiar with advance, I know what I'm doing play than the turn 1 play that he made in the previous game that I didn't really like. And it's a Scarm Bliss team for Relous. Could be a Scarm Bliss for both players. Sam hasn't shown it yet, but we could be in for a bit of a grind here if it is in fact a Scarm Bliss mirror match. And now we know for a fact that it is, as SamuelBest brings out his own. So looking like fairly similar teams here from both guys. There's a freeze that does not matter on the Natural Cure Bliss. Goes Toxic and whiffs. Trying to catch something on the switch, but Blissey just stays in and remains frozen. SamuelBest decides now's the time to bring in T-Tar. Relous has been just staying there the whole time. Here's a Focus Punch. Blissey gets out of the way of that, and Milo has to step on a spike and eat the Focus Punch and get crit. Very important critical hit there. That does 85%. And Dugtrio fails to get the revenge kill. Dugtrio dies 2 to the Earthquake. Relous way behind all of a sudden. That T-Tar takes out 2 pokes. Huge work and huge advantage. Granted, it itself does get revenge killed here by the Celebi, but that is a 2-for-1 trade favoring SamuelBest, who is definitely ahead right now. Leech Seed and Toxic exchanged here. Toxic going to be a miss, though. Leech Seed probably going to force the Blissey out sometime sooner rather than later. We end up with Scarm on Scarm. SamuelBest, in addition to his Pokemon advantage, also has a Spikes advantage. 2-1 is the Spikes count right now. Make that 3-1. Make that 3-2. Relous, I assume, goes for the third one. We know Sam has a spinner. We don't know if Relous does or not. There's the Whirlwind as opposed to the third Spike. That's going to drag out Swampert. So full team now known for SamuelBest. Goes Toxic there. That could have hit Gengar or Scarm, but it hits Starmie instead, which is pretty good. Protect is going to not only prevent Rapid Spin, but it's going to get additional Toxic damage. Rapid Spin does happen now, and he's going to get 1 layer back. Starmie on the clock from the Toxic. He very well may opt to go for just Spikes again, which I think is a nice play. And that's what he's going to do. So it's still going to be 3-2 on layers, but Starmie down to 47%. Here's Blissey switching into Gar. It's a failed Will-O-Wisp from SamuelBest. Doesn't look like Sam actually has a lot for Blissey other than just his own Blissey, which can be a very go-nowhere matchup. We know that Sam's has Toxic. We've seen Ice Beam and Toxic from it. Here's a third move that we didn't know about. There's Fire Blast. And the Spikes count becomes 3 apiece. Starmie at, what would we say, 47%? Yep. And we don't know if Relous is a spinner or not. We still don't know his last poke. Celebi at a hundo. Blissey 76. And here is the Scarm not wanting to take a Fire Punch and using Protect here. Goes back to Bliss. Has to step on 3 layers of spikes. Eats a Fire Punch on the way in. Taunt here would be really obnoxious. But other than Taunt or Boom, Blissey's pretty safe. I guess it could be Focus Punch Gar, but nobody uses that anymore. And Relous, just to be uber safe, switches here in case there was going to be an explosion, but there's not. And his last poke actually is a spinner. Here's Claydol. Goes straight Rapid Spin. Sam does not block it with his Gengar. He's going to just go for Ice Beam instead. So Relous with a distinctive Spikes advantage now, 3-0. Toxic gets off on Blissey here. Nothing preventing Relous from going for Soft Boiled if that's what he wants to do. Eats an Ice Beam. And it is the obvious Soft Boiled. Blissey much healthier now. And with those spikes out of the way, she's pretty safe to come in and do this again when she needs to. Fire Blast there. And simply a Soft Boiled again. So temporarily at 100, but right back down to 82 after the poison kicks in. Celebi comes in to a Fire Blast. That and Ice Beam both would have hit it pretty hard. Blast obviously hits it a little bit harder with the higher base power. 44%. There's a missed Leech Seed here. Now Sam with a BS opportunity. He does not get the crit, but he does get the freeze. That's bad for Celebi. It's down to just 21% and has to get out of the way. Here's the Blissey switch. Skarm comes in for Sam, looking to re-establish some of those spikes. Immediately Celebi comes in, coming in on the spikes turn. Obvious recover turn incoming here, which is exactly what happens. We'll see how Sam wants to respond, and he thinks the best thing he can do is simply lay a second layer of spikes again. Leech Seed and spikes number 3, so we are back down to 3 layers each. Spinner's alive for both players. Blissey coming in here. On the bad end of a crit Psychic here, it's going to do 30%. She's still safe, even from another crit, but nonetheless, she should just soft-boiled here, and she does. And when she does that, she's going to get hit with Leech Seed, which is going to bring Celebi up to damn near, actually, completely full health after sapping from Blissey. Another crit Psychic here. This one a little bit more relevant, since Skarm obviously doesn't have a traditional recovery move unless you want to count Protect. And there is a Leech Seed and a Toxic exchange, respectively, probably forcing both of them out in the near future. Celebi out now. Here's Claydol. And Skarm out as well. Both players go to their spinner here. Interesting situation. It's tempting if you're Claydol here to just go Earthquake. Maybe Starmie doesn't actually have anything to do here. He goes Hydro Pump, which I don't know if it would have killed. If it's an offensive start, it would have done a whole heck of a lot, but an unlucky miss there, and that's going to bring Relous right back into this game. 4-4 situation after what was an awful start for Relous. Remember, that T-Tar killed 2 pokes, but wow, after that play, see that? He brings Skarm in to absorb the explosion. It does like nothing. It does 26% on the boom, and all of a sudden, Relous is actually winning this game somehow. He was down 6-4 after getting donked by that tower, and he's now up 4-3. I don't know how we got there, but Relous now finds himself ahead. Toxic connecting with Pert. Hydro Pump also connecting. There is Protect, preventing the subsequent Hydro Pump from connecting. Whether or not Pert has Refresh, I believe, is yet to be seen. Yeah, the only thing we've seen is Hydro Pump. Now we've seen Ice Beam. That was probably predicting Celebi. It's an over-prediction. Skarm is going to live to tell the tale. It's going to be a failed Protect here, but if Relous wants to do it now, there's nothing preventing it. But no, it's a straight Whirlwind here. He does not opt for the Protect. I guess he was trying to win what could be a speed tie. It could or could not be. I don't know the EVs. Sam's might just be flat out faster. But Sam got the jump on him there. I still think I would have protected, but it's hard to say. It could have been a wasted turn depending on what Sam chose to do. Soft boiled from Bliss, back up to a hundo. Sam's Bliss very well may do the same, and does. Toxic gonna nail the egg. And yeah, still 4-3. I'm really impressed that Relous was able to come back given how badly this game started for him. Ice Beam there, 22% on the Skarm. This looks really hard for Sam to win all of a sudden. I'm not saying you should concede. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame anybody ever for playing it out, but this looks like a really hard game for Sam to win. He just doesn't have win conditions now. I mean, you would think that Gengar and T-Tar are the way to do it. I mean, Spikes, in theory, could be a win condition, but there's a pretty healthy Claydol. Well, I guess it's not as healthy as I thought, but a fairly healthy Claydol on the other side. He might Rapid Spin here. I don't know if it's worth it to him to eat an Ice Beam in order to do that. He decides that it is. That did open him up to the possibility there of a crit or a freeze to really devastate the Claydol, but neither one comes. It's just 38%, which is a lot. It knocks Claydol fairly low. And he's actually willing to give up the Claydol here. He's going to go Earthquake, trying to hit the Celebi. It's an interesting choice, but Sam got out of the way, and now Relous is going to get out of the way as well. We end up with Skarm on Skarm. There's layer number 2, 3-2 spike count. Swampert gets blown out. He's still poisoned, and he has to step on all those layers. He is not long for this world, but he tries to take Skarm with him with a Hydro Pump. It does a ton, but it does not finish the job. Now Blissey gets blown out. Bliss back to Bliss. And there is Ice Beam, 9%. Sam's is a lot lower at 40%. Can easily just soft boil at any time. Chooses to do that here. There's Toxic from the Relous Bliss. Going to connect. It looks to me like Sam is right on the edge of the cliff, and Relous just has to give him a little push, but we'll see if Sam can somehow claw his way back into this game. But I mean, his options are running thin. Both the Skarmory and the Swampert have taken a beating And there's a huge Thunderbolt on the way, and even more of a beating. 47% there. Skarmory at just 27 now, and Swampert not doing a whole heck of a lot better. I really am having a hard time envisioning how Sam is going to win this game. In fact, I'm going to speed up this game and put it on fast because I'm having a real hard time seeing what line of play, what sequence of plays would lead to Sam winning here. Celebi connecting with Leech Seed, Soft Boiled happening. Sam could not lose for a while, that's fine, but I don't know how he wins. Ice Beam there. The damage actually almost doesn't matter because the Leech Seed is mitigating so much of it. Tries to catch something on the switch with Leech Seed. It's just a Soft Boiled turn here, but Last Poke Bliss would have no chance for Sam because there's both Leech Seed and Toxic on the other side, and that'll make quick work of a Last Poke Bliss. Celebi Psychic, Blissey Toxic. Another Leech Seed attempting to hit a switch that doesn't come. Yeah, I mean, Sam's just stalling it out. He's not in any danger here, but he's also not getting anywhere. And he switches now. We know the Bliss has Thunderbolt, so Skarm has to be careful here. And he does just go straight for that, trying to kill the Skarm should he stay in there, which he did not. Soft Boiled for both. Both very, very healthy. We know that Toxic is waiting for both of them. And they both go for it, and they both connect. Like I said, I think this is just going through the motions here, and I don't blame Sam or anybody for playing it out, but I'm really having a hard time seeing how Sam can win this game. There's a Rapid Spin for good measure. Toxic misses for good measure, because why not? We do not know the last move on the doll. It could just have Refresh. Could also just be Boom or Ice Beam. Rapid Spin, another miss Toxic. Just insult to injury. Like I said, I don't know if these actually matter. It could just have Refresh. But finally, the Toxic is going to land on the third attempt. Not that the Psychics are doing a lot to Skarm, but yeah, the last move is just Refresh. So Toxic is irrelevant here. And at this point, Sam is just going to concede. And that is going to send us to a Game 3 between these players. The winner is going to go to the round of 4 within their group, and the loser is going to be out of play-ins and will not have the opportunity to participate in the CALLOUS Invitational 3 main event. Thumbs up if you like the game. Please resubscribe if you've not already done so, and Game 3 is coming up next.